It feels as though Earth was placed here deliberately. If its position were off by even the slightest margin, we probably wouldn't exist. To give you a visceral understanding of this, you're going to eject me from the spaceship to experience the most terrifying environments on the moons of our solar system. By the time I'm done, you'll understand just how rare a perfect 10 like Earth truly is in the cosmos. First stop, Titan. I'll begin with the most promising candidate, Titan. As Saturn's largest moon, its extreme cold and dense atmosphere will make for a perilous journey. This is the only moon in the solar system with a thick atmosphere. Instantly, a heavy pressure bears down on me. The atmospheric pressure here is 1.5 times that of Earth. I feel like I'm 15 meters deep in the ocean. Everything is bathed in a dim, yellowish light. An atmospheric analysis shows 95% nitrogen and 5% methane. I have to constantly monitor my suit's integrity. Even the slightest oxygen leak could trigger a catastrophic explosion. I begin to explore cautiously. In the distance, I see lakes shimmering. This is the only celestial body besides Earth with stable bodies of surface liquid. The temperature is so low that liquid methane falls like rain, forming these lakes. My probe indicates the lakes are filled with liquid methane at -180 degrees Celsius. As I'm collecting samples along the shore, my foot slips and I plunge into the frigid lake. Methane's density is only half that of water, so I can't float. I sink rapidly, without even a chance to struggle, so fast that I barely create a ripple. I won't drown. Before I even realize I need to breathe, my lungs and my entire body are completely frozen solid within seconds, transformed into an eternal ice sculpture. Rating for Titan, 9/10. My death was quick and unique. I'm docking 1 point because I was technically killed twice, once by freezing and once by the potential explosion hazard. Next stop, Enceladus. Since we're still near Saturn, let's visit Enceladus. The temperature here is even lower than Titan, reaching -201 degrees Celsius. Its diameter is only 504 kilometers, 10 times smaller than Titan, so its gravity is a mere 0.113 meters per second squared, almost 100 times weaker than Earth's. Its small size also means that under the immense gravitational pull of Saturn, any seismic activity can be felt everywhere on the moon. These geological events are powerful enough to tear apart entire sheets of ice and hurl them into space, or trigger massive moonquakes that could easily bury me. Beneath the ice that nearly entombed me lies a hidden ocean. In the South Polar region, the ice shell is about 1.94 kilometers thick. I can see enormous geysers erupting from cracks in the crust, continuously spraying ice crystals into space, feeding Saturn's magnificent E-ring. As I attempt to drill through the ice, my detector sounds a fatal alarm. These eruptions don't just contain ice, they also carry gases from deep within the core: methane, nitrogen, carbon monoxide, and hydrogen cyanide, the same poison spies use to avoid interrogation. Scientists believe hydrogen cyanide is a chemical precursor to life, but when it's sprayed directly in your face, it's a life ender. A powerful jet erupts without warning from a fissure at my feet, hitting my visor. Within a minute, I experience respiratory failure, seizures, and then it's over. A shame. I never even got to explore the vast ocean beneath the ice. Rating for Enceladus, 4/10. The process was a bit messy, and I didn't even get to see the moon's main attraction, its subsurface ocean, a poor experience. Next stop, Mimas. Saturn has too many moons to die on every single one, but there's one more we have to see. Mimas, a real-life Death Star. Its massive Herschel crater, 130 kilometers in diameter and 10 kilometers deep, is like a giant eye staring into the abyss. This ridiculously oversized crater is too tempting not to explore. I leap into the chasm. The gravity here is incredibly low, only 0.044 meters per second, so it's a long fall. For 9 full minutes, all I can do is wait in the endless darkness for the final impact. Although the descent starts slowly, by the time I hit the bottom, I'm traveling at 129 kilometers per hour. To wait 9 minutes just for that final splat, the buildup was far too long. Rating for Mimas, 3 out of 10. Terrible. Next stop, Phobos. Leaving Saturn, we head to Mars's largest moon, Phobos. If you thought Mimas was small, Phobos is a miniature world. Its diameter is only 22 kilometers, meaning its gravity is absurdly weak, just 0.1% of Earth's. Here, I feel like I could become Superman with a single jump. I excitedly race my rover across the rugged surface, but the escape velocity is only 41 kilometers per hour. I accidentally press the accelerator a bit too hard, and that's it. I'm not coming back. My rover and I drift silently into the void. I watch the tiny moon recede into the distance. My end comes from suffocation in absolute solitude after my life support's oxygen runs out. The irony is that Phobos itself is doomed, just like me. It's falling towards Mars at a rate of 2 centimeters per year and will be torn apart by the planet's gravity in about 50 million years. Rating for Phobos, 8/10. Overall, it was fun. Exiling myself into space forever because of a need for speed, that's an ironic and lonely ending with great storytelling potential. Not bad. Next stop, Triton. Now for the coldest place in the solar system, Neptune's moon Triton. It receives 900 times less sunlight than Earth, and any light that does reach it is immediately reflected back into space by its icy surface. My suit's external sensors read -232 degrees Celsius. The atmosphere here is almost pure nitrogen, but the deadliest part is that nitrogen's freezing point is -210 degrees Celsius. This means on Triton, the very air condenses into frost on my faceplate. This extreme cold is something no spacesuit can withstand for long. I can feel the heat from my life support system draining away at an alarming rate. My lungs ache as the recycled air I breathe grows colder and colder. It feels like my blood is about to freeze. They say there are cryovolcanoes here, but I never get a chance to see them. In this environment, death takes only a few minutes, and because of the extreme cold, my body goes numb and I feel no pain. Rating for Triton, 1 out of 10. There's nothing here but unbelievable cold. Not fun at all. The end came too quickly, with no real experience. Terrible. Next stop, Jupiter's moons. Let's head to the familiar territory of Jupiter. Each of its celestial bodies is drastically different, which means I can experience a series of spectacular demises. I'll start with Ganymede, the largest moon in the solar system, with a diameter of 5,270 kilometers, bigger than the planet Mercury. Not only is it huge, but it also has a metallic iron core, making it the only known moon with its own magnetic field. Because its magnetic field constantly interacts with Jupiter's, this moon has intense, Earth-like auroras. But behind this beauty lies a death trap. Jupiter's magnetic field is so powerful and vast that Ganymede orbits inside it. The interaction between the two magnetic fields can be incredibly destructive. Orbiting near Jupiter places me within its massive and lethal radiation belts with an intensity comparable to an exposed nuclear reactor core. My suit's electronics are fragile. The intense radiation instantly fries my systems. Immediately after, my life support system begins to depressurize. The rapid decompression violently forces the air from my lungs, forming bubbles in my bloodstream. My blood instantly boils. The saddest part? I only learned after I died that the auroras here are in the ultraviolet spectrum, completely invisible to the naked eye. Rating for Ganymede, 1/10. I wanted to give it a 7, but since I didn't get to see the auroras, it only gets a 1. Next stop, Callisto. Next is Callisto, the solar system's oldest shooting gallery with the most heavily cratered surface. I've come here because the moon has almost no geological activity. Unlike many other moons and planets where volcanoes, tectonic shifts, or other forces reshape the surface over time, Callisto's crust has remained virtually unchanged for billions of years. There's also no atmosphere, which means nothing to protect me. A tiny meteoroid, traveling at 50,000 kilometers per hour, strikes me like a supersonic bullet, easily piercing my suit. Depressurization, bodily rupture, and then instantaneous freezing in the minus 140 degrees C environment. The way I died is as ancient and unchanging as this moon itself. Not a pretty sight. Rating for Callisto, 210. When it comes to ugly sights, though, nothing beats Io. As the ship approaches the moon, covered in yellow sulfur, with volcanoes and lava flows everywhere, it's clear this is a true hellscape. I've decided to skip this landing. Next up, Charon. I think it's time to check out a more obscure moon, like Pluto's largest, Charon. Pluto is small, so all its moons are tiny, meaning very weak gravity. The escape velocity here is 2,100 kilometers per hour, so I can floor it without a care. Charon's surface is covered in mountains and canyons, features that suggest past geological instability. Billions of years ago, Charon was geologically active. Its internal heat caused its ice crust to crack, forming huge tectonic rifts and even triggering cryovolcanic eruptions. But that era is long gone. With no tidal heating from Pluto, Charon has cooled into a frozen, silent world. But now my rover's wheel is stuck. Here, there is no violent death, only an endless wait. Communications are down, and rescue is impossible. My end won't be a sudden event, but a slow descent into eternal solitude on this cold world far from the sun until my resources are depleted. Rating for Charon, 6 out of 10. While it lacked instant thrills, the prolonged despair offered a unique flavor. Final stop, the moon. Finally, I return to a familiar place, our moon. From here, I can clearly see our blue home, and a false sense of security washes over me. I can even see you all on Earth watching me. But danger often comes from the smallest things. A tiny micrometeoroid impact leaves a nearly invisible crack in my helmet. The extremely fine, sharp, and electrostatically charged lunar dust enters my respiratory system through the crack. The dust acts like countless microscopic shards of glass, tearing my lungs apart from the inside. I start coughing up blood and eventually suffocate on it, my eyes still fixed on the distant Earth. Rating for the moon, 9 out of 10. This ending is full of drama and tragic irony. To be able to see home, but be unable to return. My death-defying journey ends here. Each mission's termination proves the same thing. On the grand scale of the universe, life is an incredibly fragile and improbable accident. Do we look to the stars to find our next home, or to better understand ourselves? Perhaps the ultimate goal of exploration isn't to find the next perfect Earth, but to learn how to protect the one we are so lucky to have now.